is June the 17th, my brother's birthday, so I'll remember that. Meeting with Marla from
Beautiful.
Allan.
And it's the strawberry full moon. Yeah.
Wow. This is going to be an amazing session, Marla. I could tell already.
Under the strawberry full moon. Yay.
So give me a general update before we get specific. Give me a general update of how the week was.
Week was great. With my fitness corner and my my visualization, my active meditation. I think it's going great.
So
I feel like I'm working on that. So you told me to just do like a bulldog, the affirmation about the sexiness and all that. So I am totally beautiful and confident and sexy inside and out. So that was my affirmation for the week.
And how did that feel?
It felt great. It felt great. I did a lot of exercise and swimming, and went in the hot tub with my cousin, nude under the stars at her down in Mission Viejo. So, it was good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy, when you do something, you go all out, don't you?
I try. So I have to think of something to do under the full moon tonight, Allan.
Well, hold it. Where's your husband come into this?
Well, he was working, so I don't know. This is my deal.
This is my deal.
He's just trying to figure out how to stop the neighbor's cat from peeing on our doorstep right now. He's hopping mad. He says he's going to get a BB gun. So we were just trying to deal with that. But the neighbor's cat comes over and pisses on our doorstep and the door. And I was doing laying down on the floor yesterday near the front door because I was putting my legs up like that yoga thing, legs up the wall. And all this cat pee smell was coming under our door. I'm like, oh my God, this is... because it doesn't go away no matter how much you scrub it. So we're trying to figure out how to deal with this little asshole coming over here peeing on our stuff.
Yeah. Oh, God. Now, the thing, getting back to the sexiness thing and the beauty thing is, and I'm not just saying this to give you positive words.
Right.
It's coming from a man like myself. Is when I hear about these guys that you have to deal with on a daily basis who get into their 60s or 70s, and the only way they're going to get younger women is through their money and power, not because of in many cases, not because of their personality. It requires a very rare situation that would happen.
Yeah.
But it's actually ugly in itself. And also when it comes to beauty, like when I think of the most beautiful women that I know, the women that come to mind are mature women that have a beauty that goes so far beyond the kind of paper doll look of a young girl. Like the young girl might have a young body, but when you actually look at some of them, you know how little experience they have, and their looks don't have the depth of beauty that someone older does. Like I just saw a picture. Now I know what you might say that these are multimillionaire stars and they do they get operations and whatever. But I saw who was it? What's that actress from England in her 55 years old, and she's beautiful. She's more beautiful now than she was in her 20s.
There's Jane Seymour. There's Helen Mirren. Maybe.
No, they're older. They're in their 70s.
They're older. Oh,
I mean, they're still good looking. But there's one that I think married a star, like a soccer star or something. She's very, very attractive. Anyway, and then there's Jennifer Aniston at 53. I mean, these are women in their 50s. And I'm not convinced that Jennifer Aniston had a lot of facial.
No,
crazy.
She's already 53.
I think so.
Wow. Well, she is at least 50, and she's been a smoker a lot. And so she must have had the best facials and creams and everything because she looks terrific.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like I remember Joan Rivers. Now, Joan Rivers, everyone laughs at, whatever. When I see Joan Rivers in her 20s and 30s on the Johnny Carson show, she was not an attractive woman.
No.
And the only time that I ever saw her and I said, she looks attractive, she was in her 70s.
Oh, okay.
So some people age much more beautifully.
Right.
And a lot of it comes from, in her case, I know probably tons of operations.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it's all in the perception,
Yeah.
like I know I'm balding.
Okay.
I know that when I look in the mirror, my physical body, it's for my age, I look pretty good, but there's plenty of things not to like about it. But I feel more handsome, more attractive, more good looking now than at any time in my life. And it's not just a rationalization, it's a feeling.
Right.
It's the feeling. So that's why it's now important, the fact that you did a week of the Pitbull affirmations, why I say mind, emotion, action. 3 parts. Why? Because it starts with reprogramming the mind. And a lot of people stop there and their affirmation just becomes cerebral. But so now that you've done how much did you do on a daily basis, the affirmations? Did you do it quite often or?
Yeah, because like I said, I do this one affirmation I've been doing since I was like 27 or 2 of them around success. So I say them periodically through the day. Like I'll do it in my affirmation or in my fitness corner. And then like even at the grocery store or wherever, I'll repeat it too, kind of.
Okay, now your fitness corner this week, tell me exactly what your fitness corner comprised of.
So writing the affirmation and then saying the affirmation with feeling.
Yeah.
And then I would put on some music and do my, dance here in my office and then do my meditation with my crystals.
Okay.
Crystals. And yeah.
Okay, now, so let's go over that again. The first thing you did was the affirmation.
Right.
Then,
and then, but am I supposed to? Yeah. But then I said the affirmation throughout the day too.
Okay.
Yes.
The only reason, it's up to you because you have to find your own method. The only reason I recommend is looking at the vision board first to drink.
Right. Oh yeah. The vision board too. That's what I do too. It's right here. So that I forgot to say that.
Okay. So we drink in first. Second, meditation, quiet the mind, quiet the mind, quiet the mind.
Right.
Then the dance, move the body, move the body. Then when you're finished those, your mind is probably a lot more clearer to receive the affirmation into your subconscious. So if you can wait to do the affirmation at the end, that would be good. But, it's up to you to do it the way you want to do it.
Okay. But I thought the dancing is first because that kind of clears the mind and then meditate.
Yeah, you could do, you could do that. So visualize, dance, get the body going, then meditate, then affirm.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Let's put some letters to it. Let's say that the first
VDMA.
Who?
VDMA. Visualize, dance, meditate, affirm.
VDMA. Okay. Okay. Cool. That's good. VDMA. Okay. Now, when you do the affirmation this week, I'd like you to do the same affirmation. The same featured affirmation, the one exactly what are the words again?
Oh, I am totally beautiful, confident, and I am totally beautiful, confident, and sexy inside and out.
Okay, so this time, even though you might have done it to some degree, I want you to intensify it.
Okay.
When you comes to the affirmation, I want you to repeat it in whatever way you want. By the way, you don't need to do the writing anymore, right?
Okay, right.
So you verbalize it and then act. So in the verbalization, before the verbalization, instead of writing, I want you to go inside quietly and feel it before you verbalize it. In other words, you could start by saying it for a few seconds, but then I want you to take it out of the thoughts and into the feeling as you relate. And then when you put it into feeling, you create pictures of what that means, of you in different scenarios, with you in the hot tub, or with you walking and everyone's looking at you and they're just blown away by how you're walking tall and looking great and sounding great, and you're in such a state of poise and confidence and feeling great in your skin, and how you feel and how you feel and how you feel and experience it. So right now, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's say I invited you to a big party in LA. And just imagine you were in the nicest dress you could possibly think of. What would the color be?
Green.
So you're in this green colored dress. What color shoes would you be wearing?
Dark green.
So dark green
sparkles.
with sparkles. What would your hair be the way it is now?
Probably, but a little bit, a little better, a little blown out better.
Okay. So you start to imagine exactly how you would look.
Right.
And then imagine yourself walking in with, whether you're alone or with your husband or with friends, or it doesn't matter. But that you see these people and they can't get their eyes off of you. They say, wow, you are just an unbelievable. Who are you? Who are you? And everyone's commenting on that. How would you feel?
Well, it used to be like that, Allan. So yeah, I would feel great. You know, it feels like, feels fantastic.
Okay. So that feeling is not really dependent. The feeling by itself, you can access by yourself.
Right.
It is not dependent on the actual people commenting. But to stimulate the feeling inside yourself, you go into deeper levels of the visualization of it and the feeling of it. And all of a sudden you start smiling. You start smiling. Wow, that's the feeling I want you to own for 2, 3, 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I want you to feel the affirmation. Go beyond the speaking of the affirmation. Feel it, smile about it,
right?
Own it and feel it and feel it and feel it. Then you take an action. Then you take an action that could be anything. It could be anything outside your house, inside your house. Could be, I don't care what it is, you know.
Okay.
It could be personal, private, whatever you do to make yourself feel unbelievable. And so then that feeling is the feeling that's injected in your being. And the more you expand that feeling during the day, day after day, day after day, day after day, then that feeling that you just told me 5 minutes ago, Allan, I used to get that. Well, you're getting that literally from yourself. And as you get it from yourself, that feeling radiates out into the world, and you will ultimately get it. And you won't care whether you get it from others or not, because you're going to be living in it. You're stewing in it.
Right.
But you're going to probably start getting feedback from that. Like I'm very conscious. I'm not saying this egotistically, because I could tell when people are looking at me because I look weird or whatever. But I know I've got charisma. I know I've got presence. And I walk downtown and I get looks from women in their 20s and 30s. And I could tell by the way they're looking at me that, oh, he's an attractive guy. I could tell that. Yeah. And yet, when I was 21, I would never feel that. I was a lot so-called better looking, better body, better this, better that.
Yeah.
But I feel amazing. I feel I deserve that look.
Yeah.
That's how we have to get to.
Your high frequency is making people look too. You're
correct. Yeah. It's nonverbal. It's electromagnetic. Okay, so that's how I would like you to intensify the affirmation side of things.
Okay. I have to tell you something. When this was in the rainy season, so maybe in January or something, or last November, I met a friend for coffee, and I was in my boots and my tights and my leggings, and then this big sweater, that looked kind of like an American Indian print, and my hat and my bag. And I was running out to my car, and all of a sudden this guy comes running out. Hey, hey, hey. And it was some kid. He must've been 30 or something. And he's like, I'm sorry. Wait, I'm so sorry. I have to tell you. Oh my God. Oh, you probably have a boyfriend, right? You're probably married or whatever, but I had to tell you, you're just so amazing. The way you're dressed, the way you look, the way your whole presence. And he said, you're a goddess. And I was just like, oh my God, he was going. And I said, yes, I am married. He's like, oh, and it was so adorable. And he was, like 20, 30 years younger than me, but it was just so cute. The way at the end, he says, you're a goddess. And then I just felt like, oh yes, but it was my funky style too. It was just, I felt like, yeah, I loved that.
I never forgot so we had a friend years ago. Her name was Joan Matthews, and Joan Matthews, like you, was always a very attractive woman. And when I knew her, she was 62 years old, but one of these women that was 62, but very classical beauty look, And she owned a meditation center near Montreal, and we used to visit her. And one day we go and visit her, and there's this guy who's got to be in his mid-20s, 26 years old, a stud.
Yeah.
And it ends up that he was an Olympic swimmer for the country of France.
Uh-huh.
And we found out that they were a couple.
Oh, wow.
So she's 62, he's 26. They ended up being together for 4 years. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget, I slept there one night and I interviewed them. I kind of wanted to know more about their relationship.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because I asked them, many questions, open questions. And it was like they both acknowledged the fact that, the age, they knew, obviously, because of the age difference, that it was not going to be forever, but they were so locked into each other, and it became clear that the reason that they were together was because they both missed out a lot on emotional caring and nurturing in their life. So it was a very nurturing, caring relationship for 4 years.
Yeah.
But the fact that she was 62 and he was 26 was, you hear it all the time with these older guys that you hang out with in your business that are not ashamed of that. And most of them don't have the quality relationship that they had,
Right.
So,
yeah, the French are a little more, they don't look as as harshly as we do. At least they're a little more like women, or they still find them sexy when they're getting older.
Yeah. Now, the other thing I was going to say is part of your inner fitness regime, because part of your day-to-day work being in the matchmaking business with a lot of these guys that so-called remind you of the guys, older guys going for younger women, is you could use that to your advantage in that instead of triggering your insecurity about that, which then reinforces your belief that you're too old.
Right.
You do the opposite. Is now that you're developing a strong sense of owning your beauty and your sexiness and your wisdom and the fact that you're a goddess that most men are not worthy of, you start to view these men with a state of compassion. I'm sure you already do, but you actually look at them more with a pathetic look, like a sad look, like they're clinging on to something that they will never have because it's not rooted in their heart and souls. It's rooted in the external, which is going to die anyway. Right. And they'll probably die very, very sad, lonely deaths because the women that they're trying to attract will never love them for who they are in most cases.
Yeah.
So you look upon them, the stronger you get,
right,
the more love that you have for yourself, the more compassion you have for others, you're able to look at them and say, poor guy, I wish him well, but that guy could never earn the right to have someone like me. They wouldn't look at me, but I don't care because they're not worthy of being of having this kind of relationship anyway. So you kind of turn it into your favor, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I'll say, gosh, you guys have this curse. It's almost like a curse that because when they're they have this idea that they have to have somebody 10, 20 years younger to be interested. It's like, gosh, I wish I could hypnotize you to change that, or something in your mind, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they get
But
stuck
you can't, people have to go through their own growth experiences, and we can't control that.
Yeah.
We have to forgive them, love them, and wish them the best is all we can.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so any questions about the affirmational part of your week?
No, I think I got that down.
So we agree that you're going to do the same affirmation and focus more on the deeper feeling of it.
Mm-hmm.
What else did you do aside from the affirmational stuff this week? How's your vision boards in good shape?
Oh yeah. I love this vision board.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was fun. I had to get creative because I don't have magazines anymore. I really don't, you know, like I used to. So I was getting out like old greeting cards and different things, you know, to check with it for everything. And I've got my Victorian picture of the Victorian house up in the corner, because that's me and my husband's dream, is to buy a Victorian one day somewhere. So I got that there. I read chapter 4 of your book.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have any questions at all about number 4?
No. Now this is the 4th session, and that's actions.
Well, it doesn't,
right?
By the way, it doesn't work as regimented as that.
Right.
Because you have to remember, you got to leave, every person is in a different space. And so you got to go at your own pace. So it's not that rigid that 4 is this, 5 is this.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes I have a client and we have to spend 3 weeks on their dysfunctional relationship that's driving them down.
Oh, okay.
You know, so we're moving the steps step by step all along the way, no matter how long it's going to take, whether it takes 2 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. But you're right. We're getting now to the point of more focusing on number 5, which is action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, did we talk about action last week at all?
No, it was inner power.
Inner power is the stuff that we're doing that you've been working on.
Right.
Right. Now, how's the dancing going?
The dancing's good because I've always been a dancer, you know. So I was
okay, so that's easy peasy.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. During the day, are you finding yourself doing affirmation? And if so, is it generally the featured one, or are you creating a toolbox of affirmations?
Well, I've just been doing this featured one, but I'll create a toolbox. I was just trying to stick on the one like a pit bull.
Okay, that's good that you did the pit bull.
Yeah.
But what I'd like you to do now is, as new ones surface in your mind, write them down on the toolbox, in your toolbox, because you might be conscious of, oh yeah, you know, at some point in a week or 2 or 3, I'd like to work on that.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes you pick it out of your toolbox because it becomes urgent on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
So let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's say you get a call this afternoon, and you are asked to go on a radio show tomorrow to be interviewed on matchmaking. Mm-hmm. And you get a little nervous. Well, you could put in your toolbox, I'm having the most incredible interview tomorrow with KGB TV or whatever it be. You know, you could put that in your toolbox and start using it today.
Right, right.
So you got to have the flexibility to pick things out of the blue, or you pick something because you know it's something you want to work on over the next 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Remember, it could be a lot of things. It could be when you're sick and want to get well and speed up the recovery.
Yeah.
It could be anything you want.
Okay.
Okay. So start working a little bit this week on developing a toolbox for yourself.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, let's move on to action. Now, do you have you have access to that Excel spreadsheet that I sent you?
The Excel spreadsheet. You mean the manual or the book? or
neither.
what? Okay.
You don't have that?
I don't know. I don't think I have.
It's called a personal tracking sheet.
No, I don't recall that.
Okay, so let me send it to you. Let me see.
Okay.
Everybody knows me. Okay. So let's go over here. Tracking, training manual. Okay, forward. Cut that off.
Are you sending that to my email?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me when you have it.
Yeah. Not yet. Here it comes. Okay.
Okay, I think I'm going to share my screen and I'll get it up so that we both can look at it together.
Okay. Okay.
Now, how good are you at time management, organization, and all that stuff?
Oh, I'm good. I tend to be scattered around doing stuff, but I get everything done.
Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to do this anyway, because even if you're good at it, it might
I could always be better. So let's put it that way.
Yeah, it might raise the bar.
Yeah.
Can you see here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me get this out of the way. Okay, so welcome to the Nightlife Tracking Show. That was nice of her to do that. Okay, so intro we don't need. Now let's go. These here can all change, but let's go to June. Okay, so let's say this is June. Or let's say we wanted to start in July. So let's say this is July, and you see at the top, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever?
Let me see. I see that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
You see here? Can you see my thing moving?
No, I don't see anything moving. Wait a minute, is that mine or is that the...
What do you see in front of you?
I see, hang on. Oh, okay, here we are. I was looking at the one I pulled up that you sent me. I'm like, where is it? Okay, yes, I see fitness. I see category unit. There you go. I can see what you're pointing at now.
Okay, so let's say tomorrow is July the 1st, because you could change these. If tomorrow was July 4th, Monday, then you would put 4, and then look at what happens. It changes all the numbers on the top. So this is the month. So we'll go back to 1.
Yeah.
And pretend that it's July 1st tomorrow, okay? So then you decide what categories you want to track on a weekly basis. So let's say fitness. You do fitness every day or for 3-4 times a week?
Yeah, like at noon I'm going to my spin class.
So is that something you do every day?
I do spin class about 3 times a week. We have a swimming pool here, so I swim almost every day. I have a problem with my lymphatic system. It backs up. It's painful in my breasts, my armpits. So every day I have to exercise or it's backed up. So every day I do something.
Okay, but is this something that you religiously do without the needing to track it because you're already tracking?
Yeah, I already do that. All my life I've worked out. So
so that's not something you need to put here because you're already doing it consistently.
Yeah.
Give me an example of something that you would like to track that sometimes you get off track with that would help you to discipline yourself.
My meditation.
Okay, so you go here. Now, do you want to do meditation daily or several times a week?
Yeah.
How long?
I just am not at that. I know that if to get to where I want spiritually, tapping in more to my spirit guides and angels and stuff, and just all of that, I've got to do it every day.
So how many minutes on an average?
20.
So you see where it says 60?
Uh-huh.
You're going to put 20?
Okay.
Are you going to do it every day?
Yeah, I have to.
So you see what I'm doing?
Right. Yep.
20.
Now, as a former Zen monk, what do you say about meditation? I mean, like,
What do you mean?
Like your suggestion of, length, like twice a day, or like you guys probably did it for hours every day. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but I don't think there's a black and white rule. I think that you have to do it according to your lifestyle, your rhythm. Like I find that I do a lot better when I do my spiritual exercises in the morning. Mm-hmm. And then I get in the zone and it carries me through the day into the evening. But if I attack the day with letting the world get to me first, everything is much more difficult. And then I'm usually too tired at night to do it. Yeah. But that's me. Mm-hmm. You have to find, some people do it twice a day. They do it in the morning and before they go to bed or when they come home at night. So you got to find your own rhythm. Okay. So 2020, you see the 20. So let's say tomorrow, my goal is to meditate 20. At the end of the day, I then put in the actual. So let's say I only did 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. So you see what happens when I go like, you see what happens to the difference?
Yep.
What's the difference?
Yeah, minus 10.
Right. So the next day I'm supposed to do how much again?
20. So
if I do 30 this time, what's the accumulated plus and minus?
Well, then I have 40 minutes and then and then I have plus 10.
You have plus 10.
Yeah, they overflow.
Right. And then let's say I do 20. Uh-huh. Then you see I'm on track now.
Yeah.
And then if I do 40, I'll be plus 20 that day. And then I do 20. I'll still be on track. And here's the accumulative over here. Mm-hmm. As I'm going through them and as I put through the actual and the goal, mm-hmm. It will add them up so that over here you get the accumulation of the week. Now you're minus 20 for the week. Mm-hmm. So you do that for, what's another example of another category that would be useful for you?
Writing. I need to keep up blogs, and I'm writing a new book. So writing time.
Every day? Or 3-4 times a week?
Well, 3-4 times a week.
So and how much as each sitting? How long?
Well, I'd like to do at least an hour or two.
So let's say an hour to start. So you put 0. If that, maybe the next day it's going to be 0.
Yeah.
The first day it'll be 60, 60. Then maybe 2 days of 0.
Yeah.
Then you put 60.
Right.
And then you put 0. And you put 60 or whatever. It doesn't matter because you can put 360 somewhere there.
Yeah.
And so same thing. Yeah. Now you've got 3 days that week of 60. And then you're going to end up with a plus or minus accumulative of the week, and you'll see exactly where you stand. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the week, how many categories you have, doesn't matter how many you have. You don't want to start with too many.
Right.
You're going to now know, I'm going to know, because you're going to send me a copy at the end of the week, the night before we meet. Uh-huh. You're going to send me the updated version of your tracking sheet. So you're going to see, and I'm going to see how you're doing.
Okay.
So if your goal was to, meditate 20 minutes a day, and then I ask you, how did you do? And you say you're minus 120 because you procrastinated.
Right.
That's okay, because we want to look at the reality and question why you did that. Mm-hmm. And if you keep getting off track week after week, we have what's called a consequence system.
Oh.
if you need it. Not everyone needs it, but it works. So we're taking your word for it now.
Right.
So this is how you do it. You add, so aside from meditation and writing, what's another category? Eating is fine?
Oh, yeah, eating's fine. You know what? I could really, cleaning at the house.
Every day?
Yeah, I need, I should do something every day. Let's say 20 minutes a day.
So it'd be 20, 20, 20, 20,
Yeah.
20, 20.
Okay.
Meditation, writing, cleaning.
That's good.
Is that enough to start?
Yep, that's good.
Okay, so that's what you're going to do on your sheet.
Okay.
And you're going to do it, fill it in every night. And then at the end of the week, the night before we talk, so Sunday night, you send me a copy just so that I see a copy of what you've done.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Any questions about that?
Nope.
Okay, now I believe that my client who did this for me, revised it, also did, let's go here.
Yeah, let's see. Mine doesn't look like that.
What do you mean?
Mine's just empty. I mean, it says what to do. All it does is say the steps. So I'll just...
What, you should be seeing what I see.
No, it's just welcome to the Nightlife Tracking System.
No, but you go down below, you'll see what I see down below. You don't see anything?
I mean, I'm saying that on the one you sent me, it's not like that at all.
Here, let's go to the one I sent you now. You see that?
It doesn't have the yellow copy.
Is this what you see?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, just a sec. Let me bring it up. So can you see that down below right here, April?
Yeah.
March?
Uh-huh.
So press on April or March.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, let's see. Oh, I see. Okay, got it. You got to press on one of the, there it is. That's just the intro. Okay, perfect.
Now, what I can't see, then if you go back before March, you'll see a to-do list kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we call the prioritization list.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I'd like you to do.
Okay.
I'd like you to, now you could do something with this here to make it larger. Yeah. Okay, what I'd like you to do is on a separate piece of paper, well, you could either do a separate piece of paper or do it along using this document if you want.
Mm-hmm.
But you make a list of everything that you need to act on, achieve, do, short-term, medium-term, long-term. So let's say you make a list of 25 things.
Mm-hmm.
They could include renewing your passport.
Mm-hmm.
They could include sending birthday cards to 10 of your relatives. It doesn't matter, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you're going to do is make a list, and next to every category, you're going to write A, B, or C.
Mm-hmm.
Could be A, B, C, or D. Here we have D. In a few months. This
next to each thing, like renewing passport. Is that a category, or what category? Oh, I see. Fitness, financial, coach, like that. So.
Yeah. What I would do here is change what this here is. Hold it. Don't worry about category A here. I don't know why she did this, but what I'm focused on is, you see where it says nowish? Nowish up here?
Nowish.
You don't see that?
I'm looking at my own now. Hang on. What am I looking? Now I'm getting mixed up. Okay. Yes, I see. I was looking at my copy. Okay.
So I don't know why she did it like this. I'm going to have to get it changed. But what we want to do is we want to list all the things we need to do right away here in this column, which should be A. I don't know why she did it this way, but it should be the A column. Mm-hmm. In a week or so is the B column, which right now is over here.
Okay.
And then here is the C column several months down the road, down long term. So when you make your list of about 25, 30 things and you put all the A's, you put all the A's into here. Mm-hmm. All the B's into here, all the C's into here.
B under a week or so.
And C down the road, C
a few months.
Yeah, and beyond. Uh-huh. By the way, when you redo this, are you good at redoing stuff like on a computer or not?
Yeah, I mean, so this kind of document, it's called, what is this? Well, this particular, I know it has a name. It's always been a little
Excel.
Yeah, it's always been tricky. I've never been
And
trained.
anyway, don't worry about it. If you can't fix it, I'll have
Yeah.
my client fix it for me.
Sorry.
But just for your purpose, just have A, B, C, because you could probably go up here where it says B. Can you change B to A here? A, B, or C. See, you could. No, I don't know how she did it. I'll have to ask her, because here you have the lines. I don't know why she did this with categories like that. You don't really need this.
Mm-hmm.
What you just need now, what she might have done. I think I know what she did here. This is interesting. What she probably did here was, this is the list that you can make your 25 things over here. Just keep adding.
Oh, okay.
Add things, specifics. Then you put an A, B, or C next to them, then put them in here. So the ones for a few months down the road, you put in here. The ones for a week or so, put in here. And the ones that are for right now, put in here.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what she means by this.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use it as it is, I think.
Okay.
Now, as you're completing every day, the ones for now, you just delete them.
Okay.
You just delete them.
Okay, as I complete them.
As you complete them, delete them.
Okay.
Some of these will become here. Some of the B's will become D's.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the C's will become D's. These, some of them will become here.
Mm-hmm.
And some new ones will surface here. Some immediate things might come up right away in the moment that you just keep adding in here.
Right.
Like tomorrow, if something comes up, you got to put it in here. Now, whether we could change the A, B's, and C's if it matters, I don't care. But I think if you get used to it, you'll be fine with the way it is now.
See, the thing is, what I use my Apple calendar every day, so I put what I need to do in there. So then every day, the night before, I pull it up and I look. Oh, okay, I got my coaching this day. I've got.
But that's your calendar for the moment. You're not categories. In our minds, sometimes we have an accumulation of things that we got to do, not all right away.
Mm-hmm.
What this does, it kind of files your mind so you don't start worrying that you see the prioritization. Oh, these things here are down the road. I don't have to worry about them, but they're here. And I might add to them, because your mind doesn't want to limit itself only to the things you got to do tomorrow.
Right.
But if you don't order them in your mind, down in the back of your mind, you might be worried about what's coming, but not be aware of what's coming.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you would use this, to order yourself.
Right.
But if you don't feel you need it, then don't.
Because I put, like, for our coaching, I already put it, all of them in my calendar. I don't just do it day by day. I put it like Friday, I've got this, next week, that.
But that's different. That's not the kind of goals I'm talking about.
Right.
What you're talking about
is stuff I wanted, goals. I get it. Yeah.
There's three different things. There's your day timer, which is separate.
It's like that.
There's your personal accountability system, like I just showed you. Exercise 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. That doesn't go here.
Right.
Your day timer doesn't go here. What goes here is a smorgasbord of all kinds of things that you know in the back of your mind, sooner or later you need to act on. Some short term, some medium term, some long term. So what you're doing here is you're ordering them in a prioritized way. So let's say getting a passport is not relevant to six months from now.
Right.
So then you're going to put it here, but at least it's on a list.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, oh, I've got 10 things that I'm going to do 6 months from now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then every so often you look at this, you say, you know what, this has become time to put it into the green section.
Right.
And then they get new ones here. So it's a different prioritization, bigger picture ordering system.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is.
Okay.
Anyway, if it's not relevant, don't use it.
That's good. I like it. It's good.
Yeah. Okay, any questions about this?
Nope. I think I got it. That's funny. Look, in a week or two, learn how to handstand. I like that.
Where's that?
That in a week or so.
That's funny. That's funny.
Learn how to handstand. Yeah.
Okay, so now how are we doing for time? 10 minutes. So so now we're clear that this week you're going to intensify your affirmational exercise. You're going to keep up the dancing. You're going to focus more on the feeling part of the affirmation. You're going to read chapter 5, which is all about action, taking action and accountability. Read chapter 5. You're going to fill in your tracking sheet daily. You're going to do maybe your prioritization exercise. And there's one last thing I would like to ask you to do when it comes to action.
Okay.
Now, that will be enough homework, and then we could talk about whatever you want to talk about for the rest of the session.
Okay.
As we're evolving, the whole point is to become more and more free, to become more and more content, to become more and more confident, to become better and better communicator. That's what this is all about. And it's about speeding up the process. So when it comes to action, sometimes it's a good thing to take things in bite-sized chunks. So what I like you to consider this week as a first week to do it, find one thing this week. Eventually, you could even do it per day, but let's only focus per week. One thing this week that you want to let go in your life, and one thing this week that you want to add into your life. So it could be anything. It could be that this week I am going to color my hair purple.
That would be adding.
That would be adding.
Okay.
The subtracting is this week I am cutting sugar out of my life for the entire week. Or it could be I am not going to communicate with so-and-so, such and such a dysfunctional person in my life. I'm going to spend a whole week not talking with them. Or I am going to have a conversation and saying, this relationship doesn't serve us, I believe, anymore. That could be like a bigger deal, you know. Or it could be that you are going to go to your closet and you're going to choose 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of clothing that you've had, you've been attached to, you don't use them, you never wear them, you're going to throw them out or give them away.
Yeah, okay. Got it. Okay.
That way, as you do those day by day, you're going to feel better and better. I'm letting go of this. It's small. I'm adding this. It's small, but every day you keep doing that, or every week. For this week, we'll just do it weekly. Eventually, you can get to the point where you literally do this daily. But let's start small. If you do it for more than one day, that's fine.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so that's as much homework that I want to give you this week. The last 10 minutes could be talking about anything you would like to talk about. Is there anything else you want to chat about?
I don't think so. I don't have any questions.
Cool. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Okay.
All right, good.
Good. So next Monday, of course, if anything ever comes up, you can connect with me. And I will get this video to you sometime today. Okay.
This video, I don't think I needed it. I took a lot of notes. It was pretty, I think it's okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did watch all of the other ones, but I think I got, this is okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So have a wonderful week.
Okay, you too.
See you next week.
Okay, bye. Adios.
Bye.